Hey everybody, so today I want to talk about how to get the checkpoint before second bridge on Classic 2 Betrayals Legendary. Basically every time, like 90% of the time. I think in some of the other tutorials this is explained a certain way, but I think I've kind of realized something about this particular spot that I haven't seen anybody mention, and I think some people have probably come to this conclusion independently, but I wanted to make a video for people who are new to the run, people who are trying to figure out how to get this checkpoint in full game or whatever. Obviously, if you're doing an IL, waiting for this checkpoint is going to be too slow anyway. And maybe, if you're at a certain level of full game, you're probably not going to want to do it this way. This method is a tiny bit slow, but slow enough that I think it's worth doing, like in a full game run, or even in the IL, if you're like new to doing ILs and you're just trying to go for like, a 13-minute time basically. I think you could probably even get sub 13 if you're doing this, if you do everything else basically perfectly. But this is what I've been doing, and I've kind of come to the conclusion that this works pretty consistently. So I have invulnerability on here. I'm just going to show you, like, running through this area, some of the key things that we're going to look for. Now, plasma grenade management is really important. See, I have 2 nades here. I'd like to have maybe 3 or 4 for this, but we're just going to go off 2 for now, and I'll kind of explain maybe, later the backup strategy that I might do if not. So, so I've got this core save here right before Rocket Guy. So we're going to go through Rocket Guy. So I throw a plasma grenade here into this tube, kind of right as you're coming into this room, and then you want to aim a little bit high so it lands in the tube. Now, excuse me, I started doing this independently of anybody else doing it. I kind of thought to myself one day, hey, there's like 4 guys that come out of this tube and they chase you through the door. It'd be a good idea to just kill them before they have the chance to do that. And so I started throwing a nade in there, and I had never seen anybody else do it. And then I think I saw, after I started doing this, I know I started seeing Cambid and maybe even Garish do this. So I think some other people have come to this strat independently, but I know that I thought of it kind of intuitively just based on what's happening in this situation. So you throw the plasma in there. Ideally, you want to kill 3 to 4 guys. There I only killed 2. And then you threw the plasma there. Right? Now you see what happened there is when I threw that plasma, it killed one of the guys that was chasing me. And you see I got the checkpoint. It popped a little late, but it popped nonetheless. So I'll explain that a little bit better. So go back through, kill that guy, kill this guy. He's dropping an extra plasma, but it's not going to pick up for some reason, which is a little frustrating. So I killed 2 guys in the tube that time. Let's see if one of these guys will drop plasma. So when I throw this nade here, I see people throw the nade back in that, behind this glass right here. And I actually think that's not good. I don't think that's helpful. I think where you want to throw it is like here at the very farthest, like see where my cursor is on this darker spot. But I actually think the sweet spot is kind of like right in here. Because I have a theory that if this door is open and there's an enemy standing like in the door or close enough to the door that it stays open, that you won't get the checkpoint no matter what happens. Or it will make the checkpoint harder to get. I think that if this door is closed and all these popcorn flood are dead, then you will get it almost every time. Obviously, I'm allowing a little bit of leeway for Halo CE checkpoints being a little funny sometimes, but this is just kind of the conclusion I've come to. So do this, you can throw the nade right there. I threw it right at the bottom of that little light up arrow, and you see it actually killed a guy that was chasing me. You hear the door close there, and I run through, bam, checkpoint. Let's do it again, core load. So Rocket Guy, kill Rocket Guy, get his rockets, throw the nade. I might have thrown that a little too early, let's see. Nope, I killed 3 guys that time. That's really good. Kill this guy, kill this guy. Even if you don't kill that guy, you can still throw that nade there. And what I do is I go all the way to the corner. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate there that those 2 guys chase me. But you hear the door close, and there's 1 popcorn here. So the door closed. Let's see what happens. Bam, checkpoint. So that was very slow. That was like obviously quite slow. Slower than you'd want it. So let's see if we can get a little bit faster. I think your pathing really matters here. You want to get to this door as fast as possible, so as few guys as possible are chasing you. Cool, I got an extra plasma from that guy, which is kind of what you want. So you throw it right there. Base of the arrow, basically. Bam, killed a couple more guys. Door closes. Checkpoint. And as you can see, it's not really... It's kind of slow, but I think it's slow enough that... Oh, hi. That in full game... It's fast enough that in full game you would probably want to do it. Especially, you know, if you're on a giga pace. You know, if you're on PB pace, I would definitely... And there I picked up a bunch of extra grenades. So there, it sounds like the door didn't close, but still I got the checkpoint anyway. So you basically you basically want to keep any flood from chasing you into that hallway and kill all the popcorn flood. Extra one. Let's throw it a little bit later. So like right there. Bam. Let's see. Bam. Every time. It basically works every time, and I've been doing this a lot lately in my ILs and my just like practicing, and it's pretty consistent. And the only problem with this is your plasma management. I mentioned this earlier. So as you can see here, I've got 2 plasmas. That's a little bit less than ideal. Ideally, I'd like to have 3 here, because you want 1 for the tube, 1 for the floor, and then 1 for the next bridge, right? So if you don't get 1, so if I have 2 plasmas here, I'm probably still gonna throw that one. You can do second bridge without a plasma, it just kind of sucks. But if I have 2, I'm probably gonna throw it here and hope that one of these Magnum guys will drop 1. If I have 1, I'm probably not gonna do this. I'm just gonna do the one at the door here. So let's see, I killed 3 guys that time, that's pretty good. That guy gave me a plasma, which is good. You kind of want to... Basically, one or more of those Magnum guys is always a reviver. Usually, like most of the time, one of them is a reviver. And when you kill revivers, they always drop nades. So I would try to kill 2 of them, and then if 2 of them... The first 2 aren't revivers, the third one is probably going to be a reviver. So you can probably... If he's close enough, you can kill him and take his grenades. So now I'm going to do this with invincibility off a couple times, just to see what's going to happen in an actual run. Grenade. So that guy dropped the plasma. That's good. So throw the nade right there. See, I killed a guy behind me. This guy chasing me, which is a little unfortunate. But you hear there the door closed. Let's see what happens. Checkpoint pops. Bam. Popped a little bit late, but it still pops nonetheless. Let's do it again. Throw a grenade. That was a good one. Let's see if we can kill the guy. Killed only 1 guy that time, which was a little rough. Didn't get an extra plasma, also a little rough. But I'm still going to throw this one anyway. Threw it pretty far back. Still seemed to work. Checkpoint. So this is pretty much, I would say, the most consistent way I know to do this. And so you can do it basically every time. It's slow enough that in full game I think it's worth doing. The only problem is, you know, your plasma. So you'd have to make the determination yourself as to if it was worth doing. That guy gave me extra plasma. So you can hear the door closing. Checkpoint. So basically, I think if the door closes behind you, there aren't any floods standing there, and there's no popcorn flood, you'll get the checkpoint every time. And that is kind of a quick way, a fast enough way that I think it's worth doing. in full game. Or honestly, even if you're new to ILs, if you're like, if your PB is like, 15 minutes or something, and you're trying to get like sub 14, maybe even sub 13, I'd say it's worth doing.